Puff in this says that from day one, he offered you his legal team as well. That he said that Johnny Cocker and his guys could represent you as well.
Categorically untrue.
He says you offered to pay for your appeal.
Absolutely.
From Biggie, Mase, and the Lox to 112 and Cassie, the long line of careers destroyed by Sean Diddy Combs has been going on for several years. Among the many names, there was one that was meant to be the biggest thing since Biggie, Shyne Poe, the protege Diddy allegedly framed for attempted murder.
If I'm telling you that she's lying, and you saying, hey, well, she helping me, but I'm facing 25 years, and you looking at probation. Yeah, those are the things that, you understand, are unacceptable. You don't have to hold my hand. You don't have to do nothing, but don't try to hurt me. Woman was the most damaging witness of any witness. She was worse than the prosecution's witness, right, which destroyed me because the prosecution is saying I'm this belligerent, reckless, OK corralled fella, right, and then my co-defendant is saying the same thing. That was it.
Who was Shyne Poe? Born as Jamal Michael Barrow in Belize City in Central America, the former MC found his way to America when he was just 7. His mother, Frances Mivette, left for the United States when he was just 3 and saw to it that he joined her in Crown Heights, Brooklyn when he was 7. Despite having a powerful Belizean attorney and politician for a father named Dean Barrow, Shyne Poe and his mother lived in abject poverty in Brooklyn. His mother and father weren't married, and according to Shyne, that said his other 2 kids were made out of love. It was devastating. That really f***ed me up.
Right, so you got an amazing story. I want to hit them with this if they haven't heard it. You grew up in Belize, right?
Yeah.
But that's good. But it wasn't a good time for you.
Yeah, man. It was, pops, fronting, acting like he ain't know he had a son. You understand? Mother just trying her best to make sure I had food in my stomach. It wasn't pretty.
Regardless of poverty and the absence of his father, New York gave Shyne the opportunities he could only dream of. Hip-hop music. He was into hip-hop from the get-go and also fell into the gang culture in New York quickly. Shyne was his street name, and he adopted the moniker Shyne Poe as a nod to the 80s Harlem drug lord Albert Alpo Martinez. Unfortunately, street life almost cost him his own life in 1996 when he was looking into the barrel of a gun after a fight he had with another kid. The kid shot him, leaving a 6-inch scar across his right shoulder.
What you did decide to clean up your act because you were getting in some bad things.
Yeah, man, I was in the streets and I got shot, you understand? And it was like, that was the last straw for my mom. She couldn't take it no more. She was like, that's it, you understand? She just broke down, about to go in depression. And I was like, yo, that shook me up, you understand? I was like, can't lose my mother, you understand? So I was like, that mean, don't go outside, just come straight from school. I even started going to school, you understand? And just, go inside and lock myself in my room, you understand? Just for my moms. And that's when I started writing these little raps.
The gunshot was a wake-up call for Shyne, who was trying to leave the street life behind him, and he found comfort in music. The rapper quoted, "I understood that you had to have humility, had to walk away and look at the bigger picture. I didn't really understand that before I got shot. I wasn't gonna sell drugs. I wasn't gonna get involved in criminal activity. I knew I gotta work." And that work was him juggling being a bike messenger and improving his skills as a rapper. For some Brooklyn listeners, they couldn't tell Shyne apart from the Notorious B.I.G. because his deep baritone sound bore a close resemblance to the legendary rapper. Some would even argue he was Biggie's successor because shortly after the rapper was killed in LA, Shyne was road testing his skills at a barbershop on Church Avenue, the beating heart of Little Caribbean, and the regulars loved it.
So let me ask you, right?
Yeah.
Because when you first came out, it was no secret. They was comparing you to Big.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was that because of your voice tone, or was they trying to make you fill the Big shoes?
No. I think, I have a baritone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, it's been 23 years and I still have the same baritone.
Right.
And I think whenever a new artist, arrives, people have to
compare them to someone else.
It's like people been trying to find another Michael Jordan in the NBA forever until you got to realize that, LeBron is just the first LeBron.
Robert Don Pooh Cummins, a record executive best known for discovering Foxy Brown, said, "The metaphors and the way he put together his rhymes, I was like, man, you're dope." Everybody knew when they heard him that this was gonna be good. Luckily for Shyne, freestyling at the barbershop on Church Avenue got him his big break. Hip-hop producer DJ Clark Kent, who was working on the Notorious B.I.G.'s first album after his death, Born Again, saw Shyne freestyling at the shop and immediately drove him straight to Bad Boy Studio, where he met Sean Combs for the first time.
Like something that doesn't happen in the music business, especially if Suge Knight was still around. You got like 100% of your publishing? Is that cool?
Yeah,
that
yeah. One love to Puff. You understand?
Puff, good guy.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy reportedly signed him on the spot, offering Shyne millions of dollars, 3 cars of his choice, and 2 homes just for signing with the record label. According to the media at the time, Shyne got a $1 million deal without having recorded a single demo. It was unheard of and a testament to how good he was. But while the deal should have changed his life for good, little did he know that it was the beginning of a long journey through hell and high waters.
Before they even went to jail, me and Puff stood in front of Trump Towers when he had Shyne meet him. Shyne got off the tour bus. Puff told me, "Yo, Gene, don't let nobody take a picture with me. Take a picture with this." He said, "I hate this." You understand? This before Shyne even went to jail. Shyne know all this. Shyne knew all this. Shyne knew that he had took the people. You understand? And last time you had what's that, Hip Hop DX or some shit like that? They said that, because I mentioned it on your show, like I shouldn't have mentioned it on your show. Like it was something that I didn't say 10, 15 years ago or whatever. Said this shit a long time ago. You understand? That Puff did everything because they let him know. Either all y'all going or one of y'all gotta go. And Shyne was the one who went.
Getting signed to a $1 million deal at 20 with no demo changed Shyne's life in all directions. He was now a poster boy for Bad Boy Records and went from sleeping on his mother's couch to dropping tens of thousands on cars, furs, jewelry, and wearing 5 wristwatches just because he could. The luxurious life he fell into was starting to get the better of him, however. One of his Bad Boy comrades noted they even walked in on him trying to unjam an AK-47 one time. And then, in 1998, Shyne wrecked a Mercedes, killing a friend immediately. Things were spiraling for the rapper. And just when he decided to put all of it, including the car wreck behind him, and focus on the long-awaited release of his self-titled debut LP, his life changed for the worst, and P. Diddy was at the center of it all.
So for 10 years, I was animalized. Treated like a dog. Sit, stand, shut up, eat, sleep, use the bathroom, take a shower.
The shooting in NYC. On December 28, 1999, 21-year-old Shyne Poe's life would never be the same. P. Diddy and his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, were out celebrating with Shyne for his upcoming album at Midtown's Club New York in Times Square. Just as the couple were about to leave, Diddy, who was carrying a bottle of champagne, accidentally crashed into Matthew Scar Allen, a Brooklyn thug, knocking a drink out of his hands. Scar didn't care who, how, or why his drink got knocked, but he immediately responded with a shove, and a brawl ensued. In the midst of the fight, one of Scar's homies allegedly threw a stack of money in Diddy's face. According to witnesses, Diddy shot a bullet into the air. Then Shyne took a 9mm Ruger from his waistband and fired as well. With gunshots flying, 3 people were injured, and in no time, Diddy and J-Lo fled in a Lincoln Navigator driven by his chauffeur, who ran 11 red lights before cops pulled them over, while Shyne got nabbed just outside the club. Jennifer Lopez was quickly cleared, leaving only Diddy and Shyne. And just when the Bad Boys crew were meant to stay tight, Diddy's real nature unraveled and his protege paid dearly. Shyne gets locked up.
that landed him in prison for nearly a decade. Former rapper turned politician Moses Jamal Brown, better known as Shyne, is coming forward again to maintain his innocence, saying he's 100% the fall guy for the infamous 1999 New York City club shooting involving him, Diddy, Diddy's then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and Diddy's bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones. All four, including Jennifer Lopez, were arrested following the shooting that wounded 3 bystanders.
Both Shyne and Diddy awaited separate trials. Diddy was charged with weapons possession and for bribing his driver to take the gun charge on his behalf, while Shyne was charged with assault, reckless endangerment, and criminal possession of an illegal weapon. His attempted murder charges would be acquitted. Both were charged with pulling their guns, but while the jury acquitted Diddy on all charges, Shyne not only got convicted of reckless endangerment and criminal possession of an illegal weapon, but also got accused of firing the 3 shots that wounded 3 people at the club, even though one of the people wounded specifically said it was Diddy who shot her.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
So this is an open and closed case that should have ended with different outcomes. At their trial, besides an eyewitness account and testimony of Diddy shooting the gun, a ballistics expert testified that the 3 injuries might have been caused by a second gunman rather than Shyne. This expert stated that because Shyne was using a 9mm gun, at least one injury could have been caused by a .40 caliber weapon. It was obvious Shyne had clearly been set up as the fall guy, but by whom?
People probably have the impression that you're just consumed with the idea that, justice wasn't served here and that somebody turned his back on you.
It's not a matter of, turning your back on me. Like, how do you call a witness to testify against your comrade?
Gene Deal explained the whole situation.
So now, the reason they got off was people was coming to Bad Boy Security, Paul and other people, and said that they were there. So they were giving them the DA's and the lawyer's card and tell them to go make a statement. And some of those people who were making statements, they was making statements against Shyne. Yo, bro, listen to me. Y'all hearing it from me, but Shyne said it himself in his interview. You supposed to be my brother, and you got people testifying against me? Those people were testifying, they were brought to Puff first, saying that what they saw against Shyne, what they saw Shyne do. The DA didn't even know those people existed.
There were enough contradictory testimonies at the time of the incident to clear Diddy and Shyne, but Diddy shockingly saw an opportunity to frame Shyne and invited a witness, Sharice Myers, to give a testimony that would clear him as well as implicate Shyne. Sharice Myers, a bouncer at the club during the shooting, claimed to have fallen on top of Diddy during the shooting and found no gun with the rap mogul.
Woman was the most damaging witness of any witness. She was worse than the prosecution's witness. Right. Which destroyed me because the prosecution is saying I'm this belligerent, reckless, OK corralled fella. And then my co-defendant is saying the same thing. That was it. If I'm telling you that she's lying and you saying, hey, she helping me. But I'm facing 25 years and you looking at probation. Yeah, those are the things that you understand are unacceptable. You don't have to hold my hand. You don't have to do nothing, but don't try to hurt.
Shyne was unfortunately found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Despite his situation, he kept his mouth shut about the whole incident during his time at the Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora, New York. Getting framed by Diddy made Shyne immediately break his contract with Bad Boy Records, and he signed a $3 million deal with Def Jam. In 2004, while in prison, he released his second album, Godfather Buried Alive. 12 of the 13 tracks were recorded before his prison term began, while, for the record, was recorded over a prison phone line. Fast forward to 2009, after serving 8 years in jail, Shyne was granted an early release from his 10-year prison sentence. According to the former MC, he had passed time behind bars studying Judaism, but upon his release, he was still hell-bent on making it in the rap game, so he signed a 7-figure deal with Def Jam. Unfortunately for him, he was undocumented, and 4 weeks later, he was deported to Belize by customs officials. And even though his mother is a citizen of the United States and he has a green card for permanent residence, Shyne was banned from returning to the country as a convicted felon, at least until 2021. Many accused Diddy of setting up his deportation so the truth would never come out. Success and life changes. It's been over 15 years since Shyne Poe was released from prison, and despite several unsuccessful attempts at staging a comeback into the rap game, he has actually turned out fine. Since his release, he has officially changed his name to Moses Levi to reflect his commitment to Judaism and reconnected with his estranged father, who became the first black prime minister of Belize in 2008. His relationship with Diddy has gotten better since then, as the rappers put their differences behind them when they reunited in Paris in 2012.
That incident.
You know what happened with Diddy, with Brother Love? Mm-hmm. I don't really blame that on him now,
right?
As much as I did then, because I did go through a stage of bitterness.
You're human.
But in retrospect, I blame it more on the lawyers that were advising him
to separate the case
than him, because his lawyers were there, to secure a not guilty verdict by any means.
Right.
He's a corporation, $100 million corporation, and they look at me as the enemy. Now, this is
you didn't feel like
this is how many years ago? This is 20-some years ago.
20-something years.
So Puff is still young, relatively.
What is it? 1999.
1999,
Okay.
2000.
Damn.
So he's much younger then. And, it's a lot of pressure. He's about to lose everything. I'm about to lose everything.
Right.
I'm from that, though.
All right.
Right? Diddy is a musician. He's a great musician, great executive, great entertainer. But he wasn't from that.
Right.
So his response shouldn't be expected to be my response. And then when your lawyers and maybe other people are misleading you and misguiding you, I think that's how everything, fell apart. And he said that to me.
Right, it's beautiful.
He said, man, I'm sorry, man. I should have never listened to those lawyers.
That's real.
And, I forgave him.
That's real.
But it was traumatic.
Yeah, it's still
so
stings.
I will forgive him, and then you might hear me a few months later.
Yeah.
Still
stings.
Going in on him.
Yeah.
In 2021, he officially returned to the US for the first time in more than a decade, but this time not as a rapper, but as a politician. Since getting released from prison, Shyne Poe has gone from being Belize Music and Goodwill Ambassador to being the opposing leader in the House of Representatives and the leader of the Belize United Democratic Party, and is currently trying to follow in his father's footsteps to be the next Belize Prime Minister.
Is the goal to make you the prime minister for real? Would this ever be that, like for real? Like, can we go? And what does the prime minister mean? The prime minister is the president?
No,
for lack of a better term.
It's Joe Biden.
According to Complex magazine in December 2012, Shyne ranks among the rap stars to have suffered the 30 worst fall-offs in rap history. But watching how he has revived his career since taking the fall for Diddy, he has turned out to be a great example of hard work and never giving up on yourself. A rap career stolen, but a political career found, Shyne is a legend in his own rights. We want to hear what you think about the situation. Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy this type of content, then make sure to check out these other awesome stories from the golden era of hip-hop. Help us out by liking, sharing, and commenting. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. We'll be dropping new stuff every week. Thanks for staying till the end. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.